One of the things that has been so big in helping me to kind of expand my tanks is that, as anybody knows, the more you have, the more work you have to keep up with it. So whatever I can do to kind of make that easier really helps make this feel less like a job and more like a hobby that I can actually get some enjoyment out of. So I have built a system that allows me to maintain the tanks. Um, with where I really only have about maybe an hour or two a week, where usually on a Saturday, where I can change all the water and kind of clean them up a little bit and in a way where it's super simple. So what really helps with this is having kind of a laundry tub um, that you can make a mess with. And so let's start with the hose. This is really just running off of um, and there's the Python system. I bought something off of Amazon, which is similar. And the only piece that I'm still using is this adapter that hooks onto the actual laundry tub sink. But since then, which this is actually the original tubing, which I'll talk about that in a second for that. But I have found that this braided tubing really helps because it prevents kinking. So I can this thing is 50 feet long. I can run it from all the way around my basement, and I don't have to worry about it getting kinked somewhere and not working. So it works really well to prevent that, to kind of lower that frustration. And then I built this. This is just a whole bunch of PVC adapters and things, and a hose clamp, and it's just clamped onto that tubing. But this coupling right here is really key because I can do lots of different things. I can turn on the water and use the siphon, and this is my little vacuum tubing, and this can hook up right onto that. Or I can use this little contraption to just suck water out if I just want to do a siphon change. Or I can use this to replace the water at the end. Now, I noticed at the beginning, I have a well, and I have a limited capacity to my well. So if I run the siphon, if I'm just running the water, although I'm not paying for the amount of water, I am paying for the electricity to run the well. The water does run out, and when you have a bunch of people in your family that may need to take showers and things like that, they don't get very happy when the water is all gone because you've sucked it all out to clean out your fish tanks. So after a while, I realized that was not an option that I could stick with. So I went out and I got these pumps. Now I have two different pumps here. This one is a super cheap one that I got off of Amazon. I think it was like 15 bucks. And to be honest, it has kind of stopped working on me a few times, and I've had to take it apart. And it's not the most powerful, but it is small and it is light. And I love that because I can do so much with stuff that's small and light. This is one that I added later. This is a CJ Ultra Zero pump, and it is powerful and it is faster than the cheap one from Amazon. However, it's heavy. I mean, sometimes, especially with this big metal connector here, I just get so worried because if I bang it on something, I just feel like I'm going to break the glass or something. But it is hefty. It also will almost always sink right to the bottom, so I kind of have to prop it so it doesn't do that. Now, of course, with a 210-gallon tank, it's really nice to have something that's going to suck it out faster. I also feel like for the price of this thing, I have more issues with it than I would like to have. Sometimes the impeller gets dislodged or something, and I'm just sucking water. I'm not really doing anything, so I feel like it should work better. When I first got it, it didn't work at all. It worked for about a day, and then it stopped working completely. To be fair to CJ, I emailed them, and they asked to check the impeller, and that was when I took it apart for the first time. I realized the impeller was broken, and they told me that happens a lot when they first ship them out. The impellers tend to, or the rod in the middle that the impeller turns on, that was broken, the ceramic rod. And they said that happens quite a bit. So they just mailed me a new one, and that was the end of that. And I put it in there, and it's worked pretty well since then, although sometimes it kind of makes noises, and it's just amazing how reliable this $15 one is versus this one, which is $100. So I don't know, you be the judge. It's nice to have that extra time, but I do have the two pumps, just depending on what tank. Some of the stands that I built actually won't fit this one because it's just so much bigger, so I have to put this one under instead. This is how I do my salt water, which what I do actually is I take this end of the PVC and I hook it into this pump, and then I take the other end, and I've kind of made like a double coupling here, and this one will actually hook into my J, what do we call that? I don't know, there's different names for it, but just the one that I use to fill up the tanks. So this one will hook into that. So what I do is I'll take this and these trash cans, these trash cans have, the one on the right has RODI water in it and the one on the left has salt water in it. So I mix all my stuff up in here, and I drop this down into the tank, and then I run this tubing to the saltwater tank, or if I'm putting straight RODI water into a tank, if I want to lower the TDS and kind of make it very soft and very acidic, I can take it out of that green trash can. And so I'll run it across the basement using this, and then I just plug this in and it sucks it out. And that works just fine. It's not the fastest, but it works pretty well. So anyway, that's kind of my DIY hose system that I use to do all my water changes and stuff. There's some other stuff over here that I'll go over one day, but I just kind of wanted to show you all of that. So let me know if you have any questions, and I would be happy to answer them for you. And thanks so much for watching.